guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, the Bright Side girl. I am reusing an outfit and hair because I need to film several videos today, so that's the reason for that. But today we are doing my April book haul. I have 32 books to share with you today, and let me just explain a little bit. So I recently moved, I got a new house, I got new fabulous bookshelves. I was trying majorly hard before the move to get down my TBR because it's just such a pain to move with all these books. And I was kind of under the impression that where I was moving was not going to have as many library bookstores, book sales and things like that, where it wasn't going to be as easy for me to find books for so cheap. I'm usually able to find my books for 25 cents to $1, maybe $2. So that's how I'm able to get so many books all the time. And I recently did some traveling and some looking around, and there are a lot of library bookstores here and a lot of Goodwills and a lot of awesome things. I got all of these books for less than $30. And they're so good. Some of them are brand new and I'm just a mess. So we're gonna worry about controlling my TBR on a different day, and we're gonna just do some book haul. Okay, let's get going. I'm really sorry, once again, I'm not gonna have a lot of descriptions for these books just for the purpose of keeping this video a little bit shorter, and also because I kind of like to go into books as blindly as possible. Okay, I bought a box of books from a lady that lives locally here. She gave me about 12 books for about $5, and I took them all rather than picking them. I just gave her a set price. It might have been like $8, I don't know. So I have some random books in here too that I may not be keeping, but I'm just gonna let you guys see them. I got Air Awakens Book 1 by Elise Kova. I vaguely remember something about this. I think it's maybe something to do with angels. I'm not sure. If you guys know, let me know in the comments below whether or not I should keep this one. I got Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini. This is also a paperback one. I'll get rid of it eventually, but I think I'm gonna keep it on my TBR until I read it. It is something with kingdoms and fantasy. I got Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. This one is about witches that have powers, obviously. And I think that Truth Witch is able to tell when people are lying, and also, of course, other magical abilities. This is, I believe, part of a trilogy, and I've been wanting to read it for a while. I got The Looking Glass Wars by Frank Beddor. I've been really into Alice in Wonderland retellings lately, so I decided to go ahead and pick this one up. I got Alex and Eliza by Melissa de la Cruz. I recently listened to Frozen by Melissa de la Cruz, and I really enjoyed it. This one is a kind of like a twisted retelling on Hamilton and his wife. Of course, I love Hamilton like everyone else. This could be terrible, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I got The Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. This is the big floppy paperback. This is the only series that I really want to have in paperback because it is so huge. And these are awesome to read. They're just super floppy and really fun. I think this book is almost 800 pages, so I don't like having the hardbacks of these because I want to read them, and that's just painful. I believe this is the second book in the Song of Ice and Fire series, and I'm going to start Game of Thrones here very soon, so I wanted to have this one. I got 13 Little Blue Envelopes by Maureen Johnson in this hideous cover. This one is about a girl who travels abroad, and I believe her aunt gives her 13 envelopes of instructions to do while I think that she's in Europe, and she just follows those instructions. It's like a backpacking novel, which sounds really fun for summer. I got The Princetta by Anne-Laure Bondo, I hope I'm saying that right. This one looks absolutely fabulous. It's got, I think, pirates and ships and princesses and fantasy, and I don't know anything about it, but the cover was just absolutely stunning, so I picked this one up. The Last Dragon Slayer by Jasper Fforde. This one is adorable. It has this little bug driving on a dragon's tail, and it just looks really fun. I believe this is a middle grade book about dragons. I found The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye. This is the second book in the Crown's Game series or trilogy or something like that. fantasy. It's supposed to be, I think there's magical duelings in here from what I can remember as well, like similar to the Night Circus, but with a more like royalty type setting. So that sounds really cool to me, but this is book 2 in that series. I got the Siren's Fury. This is book 2, and I think Storm Siren. I'm hoping there's some mermaid aspects in this, but it might just be a witch book, which I'm okay with as well. But I was kind of hoping that this series has some mermaid vibes so that I can read it during the summer. But it also has a really cool cover, and it looked awesome. I got Flight or Flit from Angie Sage. This is the Septimus Heap book 2. I've been wanting to read these for a while. Magical books. I think there's dragons involved. It's kind of becoming more of a classic. I think it's like an older series. I got Half Bad by Sally Green. This one is an oldie but a goodie. Also either vampires or witches or something like that. I will find out here soon. Study in Charlotte and Last of August. These are Sherlock Holmes retellings, but Sherlock is a girl named Charlotte. I'm not sure if the second book is part of the series or if it's a companion novel, but the third one's coming out this year, and they're like mystery and they're fun and they're still YA, so awesome. I got Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Eleni Taylor. I'm a little bit sad. I did not pay attention in this book. If you open it up, it's kind of falling apart. So my husband's gonna try and fix it for me. I did get it extremely cheap, but I was really hoping it was in better shape because I have one of the others in the series that's in great shape. I am almost done listening to this audiobook, which is fabulous, and I'll talk about that in my April wrap up. It is a fantasy book set in modern times for the most part. It is about angels and monsters, and it's about angels and monsters and all kinds of fabulousness. I will be discussing it more in depth in my April wrap up, so go check that out if you are interested, but it is like awesome. And then I got Supernaturally and Endlessly by Kirsten White, who wrote the Anti-Darken series. The first one is paranormalcy, so ghosts and witches and things like that, and I wanted to read this for the fall, and now I have the complete trilogy. I got Endgame by James Frey, one of the books in Endgame, The Calling by James Frey. I hauled this a few months back and then I unhauled it when I was getting rid of my TBRs, but I was kind of sad about it because it is such a pretty book and it is a movie, and I really like reading books that have become movies, even though the movies are usually terrible, just because it's kind of like a fun reward for finishing the book. And this one's a little bit controversial, but I want to read it anyway. I picked up Splintered by A.G. Howard. This is an Alice in Wonderland retelling. I have the second book, which is Unhinged, so I'm really excited to now have the first one, and I hope to read this really soon. Yeah, it's just a modern day Alice in Wonderland retelling. I got Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. I have Miss Mayhem as well, which is very exciting. So now I have 2 of this trilogy. I've heard wonderful things about Rebel Belle. They put this under the cozy mystery category, but I'm not sure that that's accurate. I think there's like a reform school and like assassin ladies and things like that, which sounds totally great, and I'm excited to do this one. I found Zenith Drama Saga by Sasha Ellsberg and Lindsay Cumming. I can't believe that I found this at my library bookstore. I was actually going to buy it anyway, but I am so excited. It's a little bit beat up, but that's okay. I'm really pumped to read it. I know that it's gotten some mixed reviews, and I feel kind of bad for Sasha because she worked so hard on it, and it is such a beautiful book. So I'm hoping that I really enjoy it. I personally really like sci-fi, so hopefully that will help with my opinion on reading the book as well. But I'm really excited to get into this, and I'm so excited for Sasha. Good job for getting your book published, because that's awesome. Then I found the Indigo Spell and the Fiery Heart. These are 2 more books in the Bloodline series. Now I'm only short 1 book. I have 5 of the Bloodlines books, and I have 3 of the Vampire Academy books, because this is a spin-off of Vampire Academy. So vampire, fantasy, modern time goodness. Excited to put this on my fall TBR. Then I found a beautiful version of Carry On. It is in excellent shape, and by Rainbow Rowell. This one is kind of the companion to Fangirl. If you are familiar with Fangirl, this is the book that Kath was writing in Fangirl. And so it is kind of like a twist on Harry Potter, like fan fiction Harry Potter sort of a deal. Magical wizarding school, but there's some vampires in here, and I haven't read it yet, and I'm really excited to. And there's some cool like illustrations and stuff too. Then I picked up Grave Mercy and Mortal Heart by Robin Lefevre. I believe this is book 1 and book 2 in the Grave Mercy trilogy. This one is about assassin nuns, I think, and possibly in Ireland. I hope that I have that correct. But everyone really loves this series, and it looks totally awesome, and this seems like a good one for fall as well. Picked up An Arc of a Witch Town by Corey Putman Oakes. This one came out last summer, and I always am up for a witch book for my fall TBR. So yeah, there you go. I got Daughter of the Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller. Was really excited to find this one because the next one is, I believe, about sirens, and maybe there's a Little Mermaids in here, and I'm going to put it on my summer agenda, possibly for Mermaid Marathon. This one is about the daughter of a pirate king, and that's all I know, and that's all I want to know until I go into it. Then I picked up The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. Super excited because I got this for like really cheap, and it's brand new pretty much. And it just came out. This one is about a young girl whose grandmother was famous for telling fairy tales, and then something kind of happens along those fairy tales. She discovers a lot of things that I think wind up being true in the fairy tales themselves. So magical, and it's supposed to be really dark, but like also beautiful. And it's just like an absolutely gorgeous, like shiny book, and it feels amazing too. I know that's weird, but I like feeling my books. Then I picked up This Savage Blue by Zoraida Cordova. This is the second book in the Vicious Deep trilogy. I am assuming this is about mermaids, mermen, something like that. It might just, but it's all like underwater and things like that. So really excited. These have such cool, like dramatic, intense, scary, awesome looking covers. So I'm really, really, really pumped to add this to Mermaid Marathon. And then the last 2 books I am not adding to my TBR. Yay! These are 2 books that I have read, but I did not own, and I'm really excited that I found them. So I found Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, which is one of my new favorite books ever. I talked about this in my March wrap up, so go listen to that if you want to know more. But post-apocalyptic meets like Shakespeare traveling troupe. It's unlike anything. It's so good. It's so good. I finally found Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. This is one of my absolute all-time favorite Christmas tales. It's about a boy and a girl and a bookstore, and they do secret notes to each other and dares that they have to do, and they haven't even met, and there's Christmas magicalness in it, and it is just so good. And I was so excited to finally purchase it. I'm probably going to reread this again this Christmas time. Whew. Okay, you guys, hopefully this video was not too long. I'm sorry for the lighting changes. It's kind of a weird, like, sunny and not sunny day, but that was my April book haul, and hopefully my May book haul will be smaller. That's what I always say. And hopefully I'll be doing some unhauls here in the future as well. But now that I have a house, I have plenty of space, and we're not going to be moving again for quite some time. So I don't really feel bad about having like as many books other than the stress of the TBR, which I need to just not be stressed about. So if you guys got any books this month, let me know down below, and I'll see you guys next time on the bright side. Bye! Then I finally found Dash and Bookie.